All right, go ahead,
Probably.
mate.
Well, we arrived at the Ring of Iron last time. Notably, not a ring, not made of iron, but
That you know of.
that we know of. We passed through the large gate. Not much issue getting inside, oddly enough. Thankfully, also because we were guided in by somebody from the 33rd. They were having a bit of an issue getting their ale inside. And apparently that raised some suspicions with Ninar, who wanted to check out the ale on a later moment. We we settled in with the 43rd, had a bit of a drink, a bit of a bite to eat. I personally met a bunch of old friends, including but not limited to Torun, Dagon, and Tarn the Bear, who pretty much tackle stomped me to the ground. Because as strong as I am, she's stronger.
That's sweet +8 to athletics.
Yeah, exactly. And basically, we started getting hammered. In the meantime, Varric and Ninar decided to trail off for a little bit to find out whether the ale was actually ale or something else. That turned to be not the best of choices because they were quite sloshed when they returned.
Got free alcohol out of it.
Yeah,
A great
free
idea.
alcohol.
I mean, it's a good idea.
Oh, yeah,
on the
I'm
whole.
testing this
found
alcohol
out
because
that
I'm
it
for
wasn't
suspicion.
ale.
Well, yeah, it wasn't just ale, but there was nothing truly illegal in the matter. At some point, Temenor actually managed to arouse the anger of Dagon, the local racist, and gave him a mighty good thrashing.
I tried to be friends. He didn't
You definitely tried to be friends, but that falls on deaf ears, no pun intended.
Falls on no balls.
That as well. While we were there, we also saw a contingent of Dragonborn arriving. If I'm not mistaken, that was a Silver Dragonborn who were heading straight for the Citadel. And that was... they were let in pretty easy, luckily. I'm forgetting. Oh, right. Yeah, Ninar also tried to slap Dagon when he was already on the ground. Failed, got spit on, ran away, and...
I didn't run away.
Well,
I
you stormed off.
sulked.
Sulked with direction.
With a direction towards the trees where a bunch of high elves, even more racist than the one dwarf we had in the camp, were located, and she kind of turned into a squirrel, if I'm not mistaken, and hid up in the tree for a little while. Then, after about half an hour, came back and rejoined the party. In the afternoon, we decided to go into the Citadel. Without much problems, we did manage to do that. I sold off some scrap. We also sold off the crossbows, if I'm not mistaken. We got some nice coin out of that, and we saw a bit of an altercation between the Silver Dragonborn and a Red Dragonborn across from the foundry where we were, in another foundry, which apparently is also owned by the Red Dragonborn. That goes by the name-
Dragonborn.
Yeah. Hey, English is hard.
I
if I'm
know,
not-
and I speak it. It's first language, and I'm still shit at it.
If I'm not mistaken, the Silver Dragonborn was called Majestan, and the Red Dragonborn was called Marvel the Jackal.
What?
Morval?
You only heard the name Morval. You think that the Jackal might be a nickname.
Oh, right. Yeah, it was a nickname. I should have put that in. And...
Because I don't know about you, but, you know, Jackal isn't a very common surname for one.
Not for Dragonborn, at least.
No.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. I don't... No. There's a bunch of Joneses, Evanses, and Prices. A lot else.
And a bunch of Stevens.
Yeah, no Stevens.
Oh. Anyway, we settled down in the White Flagon, if I'm not mistaken, and asked around a bit for some scholars. And apparently there was also a temple to Callistria in that, in those surroundings, in the Low Ring. And we should be able to contact, and I'm gonna have to flap back again. Tristan Hawk?
Wolf, I believe.
I mean, my handwriting is shit, but it really says Hawk here.
I may have changed it back because I realized Hawk is something else from a different franchise.
Right, so I'll have to change that to Wolf then?
I'm pretty sure. I think I just like misspoke in the one because all my notes do say Wolf.
Yeah, well, I wrote down Tristan Hawk, so...
I probably just said it by accident, you know, Freudian slip.
So Tristan Wolf then, who is the commander of the Citadel, who might have a job for us. And I think that 2 of our party were going to the Temple of Callistria, and I was supposed to go to the Grey Arcanist for some more information about the Dark Mark, and Tristan for some work.
That was very good. Have your inspiration.
Yay! Let's
remember it exists, please.
Have it. Take it.
I may just use it on a perception check if I.
I mean, you can do it, or I can just spam you every 10 minutes with a message saying that you have inspiration. Because I'll do it. Yeah, that was a very good recap. Yeah. So what do we want to do first? Let's get the holy brothel out of the way first. Fair enough. Right, Varric and Nanar, you sort of begin taking sort of vague directions to the Temple of Callistria. Almost everyone's able to point you to like that way, and you begin to venture further into the lower ring, an area where housing is a bit the buildings are a bit less well maintained and a bit less grand. You notice that like there are a lot more non-human sort of people around. A lot of elves, a lot of half elves, the odd tiefling here and there, and a fair few halflings as well.
So everyone.
Well, a lot of non-humans is what I'm saying. But yeah, you eventually sort of follow the notes to this quite not like a plaza, but like a small clearing where they buildings with this quite not grand looking building. It's like a 2.5-story building with just like, it looks like a sort of quite open and airy manor house almost, but just completely like distinct, like quite strange from the rest of the sort of surroundings of it, which are, if not something, quite low quality in like nature around it. Stands out quite a lot.
I think that's what we're looking for.
This looks to be where we are. The guy just told me that somebody was here who like it was. Okay, let me try and do that sentence with real words. At the inn, the innkeep had told me that it was simply a follower of the church. They hadn't actually really explained more about. I don't think I remember them explaining more about what she looked like or anything. I haven't got any notes about. Which I feel like I maybe should have asked.
So what do you do?
Fail Mastiff? Is this... I'm getting something else.
What?
No, never mind. It's probably
the symbolic voice of Graz, you just hear leafing saying random names.
No, I'm just trying to get through my notes as well.
No, I think it was a priestess of Callistria.
Oh, well, yeah, but, like, I don't have a name, so, I guess I'll just head to where the priestesses are at. And where are they at, kind DM?
If you had to guess the temple, you're not exactly a huge expert on the city.
I mean, well, yes, but I mean, like, within the temple.
Well, you're not in yet, so are you just gonna sort of go in?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we'll go in.
Okay. So you open the door, and it's just like scent of like just spices hits you. You feel your mouth fog very slightly. Like there's sort of quite. Actually, maybe Constitution saving throws.
Uh-oh, is there
Okay.
dribbling pipes?
It's not that place.
Oh,
Yeah. No, you feel you feel like a bit like cough a bit at the smoke, but not the smoke, but the sort of scent. But you manage to keep your just fine. Varric, you feel your mind fogged quite a bit. You feel like just almost very like not like quite tired, but you know a bit fuzzy almost.
Okay.
Inside, you see it's supposed to be like a small, not quite reception, like a reception area with this quite tall, handsome elf gentleman sitting at behind the front desk. Behind him is this large veil of just sort of yellowish silk, which like you can sort of see through the veil almost. You can see vague, indistinct shapes, which you assume are people, but you can't make out huge details. You just hear the very indistinct sounds of just laughter, light conversation, the occasional other thing. But it's all very like muffled and indistinct almost.
Right. I guess I will head towards someone who looks like a priestess.
You see, there's no one in like this sort of immediate entry area apart from the this gentleman at the front desk, as well as these like just two. There's just two bystanders, as far as you can tell, in standard clothes, just talking by the side.
Okay, I'll go to the desk then.
This gentleman looks up at you and just hello. What business do you have in the House of Satan Vales?
I'm looking for one of your priestesses. She was at the inn that I have the name of somewhere in my notes.
He just arcs a single eyebrow.
Unless it is embodied voice worth to tell me.
White Flagon.
Is it the House of Golden Veils?
That's where you are now.
No, damn it! Why is that? What is written down in the wrong place? Did you say something, Zay?
White Flagon is the tavern that we are.
So it is. Here it is. Yes. I'm looking for a priestess. Who...
Many are.
Alright, that's so funny. She was at the White Flagon, yesterday. The inn.
I'm afraid I cannot help you. We don't keep huge tabs upon our acolytes. Unless they're on specific jobs.
Well, may I speak with them to try?
You're free to converse with whoever you choose.
Thank you. I'll walk further into the temple, I suppose.
Okay, you pass through the Satan Veil of Censorship, which means describing stuff's going to get a lot harder. We'll just say make a general persuasion check to just persuasion check to just try and gather information almost.
Can I do that as well?
You can certainly help.
Can I also use their services at the same time?
You certainly
At the
could
same
if you
time! Looking
want.
around.
You certainly could.
Is this in a public space?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I mean, use their services and then try to get the information at the same time. So,
yeah, as you are sort of use the services, shall we say, the traditional payment is asked, one secret of which you have told very few else.
I like you started saying no one and then you just move on to very few other people.
Well, I realised that that may be a bit hard as a measure of payment.
I mean, it's like, surely they don't know if you're lying. You could have told everyone that you have a weird toe.
I mean, this is not the first time that I'm using these services, so I'm probably using something that I've already told in the temples in... What's the town again?
Staden. Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to make a persuade?
I did a religion check last time, right?
Yeah, you did.
Didn't know that this was a thing of this temple.
Well, I can't remember what you rolled was the thing, because it was, a week ago. I can scroll back up.
The description that you gave me from what I rolled was simply that I know about, like, what the goddess represents, but, like,
Yeah.
I don't know how that manifests itself.
Yeah, I think that was what it was.
So
basically.
I'm gonna be kind of uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
with Varric just kind of getting it on.
Well, they're not getting on public space. He's led away to an alcove, which you could probably still see, but
I'm not gonna try.
So.
Well, no, you didn't get a 20 perception check.
Persuasion.
I can't help but see.
Yeah, persuasion. You don't really gather much, especially as everyone who you talk to will sort of is quite adept at distracting you, especially with the your mind a bit foggy from the spices burnt.
Fair enough.
Which you're probably quite familiar with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I assume you're just listening in to try and.
Me?
Well, yeah, you made a perception check.
Yeah, I mean, what exactly is Varric asking? What are you trying to glean? What information are you looking for?
Well, I'm presuming that we were trying to get information about the Orval and, of course, who was the priestess that was...
I've never expressed this to anyone. I went and spoke to the innkeeper on my own. I just said I had business here, and you said you wanted to come for the services.
Fair. Well, I can then ask about the priestess that was in... Does anyone of them know who it was? But apparently I don't gather much information about that.
So you're just sort of listening in then, Power?
I'm gonna walk away.
Okay.
When you walk away to an alcove, I'm off, mate. I'm off to find someone else.
Oh, so you just leave it straight out, walk out the temple?
No, I'm looking for priestesses to talk to.
There are a lot around. Are you just going to start just talking to them?
Yes.
Maybe a general persuasion check to just sort of.
I'm pretty persuasive.
Okay, yeah, you do get a few names. However, a few names and some polite introductions, and other of conversations they try to lead it to, but none you can really gather in the White Flagon in the past couple of days.
Huh.
And you do notice, they are quite evasive in their sort of speech.
I guess I'll try a different tact. I'm looking for her because I believe she has an interest in the Dragonborn Marvel.
The priestess you're talking to sort of raises an eyebrow. Interesting. However, not my business, unfortunately. If you want more details, you'll have to find her. Whoever she is.
Would you know anyone who would be more aware of where your priestesses are going? Anyone who keeps up with...
We tend not to keep tabs upon our clerics. For they operate more independently.
You don't speak to one another about where you
speak to one another, yes, but, well, there's no official way of logging what they do.
I guess I shall keep asking and hope I get lucky.
Just raises an eyebrow and just nods. I hope you do too, and just walks away.
On with the search.
Yeah, I'll roll with that roll for the rest of the endeavor, shall we say? You don't really gather much, just a lot of vagaries and little of worth really.
Damn it.
Anything else either of you would like to do?
Well, I want to keep asking like every priestess until I've asked them.
You take a
all.
while in here, and yeah, you think you've asked almost everyone in here at this point.
And none of them will tell me anything.
None of them will tell you anything.
Dickheads.
I mean, anyway.
That was a pleasant music change.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Alright, you're probably done regardless by this time, but you know.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Varric will try to ask from some other people, but
Again, you see little actual success.
yeah. I'll
You
just
would know
enjoy
that,
the atmosphere.
you would know that. Yeah, you would know that clerics of Calistria are very evasive in their speech, almost. It's almost like the goddess of trickery inspires trickery in her followers.
Yeah.
You get the sense there's a lot of half truths and saying one thing and meaning it as another going around.
Varric will mostly enjoy the atmosphere. It's been a while since the previous time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I'll leave the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of hang around outside, maybe?
Or
I'm
just
assuming
awkwardly.
in my head, right, that maybe this one that has made a house call might make other house calls. And then come back to the temple so I can kind of like catch the priestesses that turn up. I guess.
How long are you gonna wait? Do you say?
Well, how long has it taken us if we started off at morning?
I'd
long
say
has
it's been
it
about an hour and a half of just asking everyone around. So I'd say it's about, like, I don't know, if you left at like 8, half 8-ish, probably about 10 by this point.
I'm definitely willing to wait until lunchtime.
Mm-hmm. You're just going to question everyone who comes past.
No, and the priestesses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can probably...
There's not a huge amount of traffic, you notice, coming in and out of, priests or priestesses. A few just, as far as you can tell, civilians come in. One or two embarrassed-looking soldiers trying to sort of cover their cover their faces and identities or whatever. But few actual.
Stare at every single one of them.
They sort of, just avert their eyes and keep their head down.
I mean, Varric will probably join in at some point and try to help pointing out that who is most likely a priestess and who's not.
The expert, he helps.
Yeah, local expert, shall we say. But yeah, you again don't really yield much from this. You just sort of like the odd, very few actual, priests and priestesses like pass through here. Again, like I said, one or two, but again they provide little information.
Would I actually know that? Is there like a side entrance that the priest or the clerics might be using?
I'll say.
Religion?
I say you have advantage because of knowledge of. Okay. They sometimes do have a side entrance, but it's different for every temple. But also know that during the day, there's few priests and priestesses tend not to leave or come back into the temples. They tend to leave at night and stay out for a while.
We might have better luck if we come back in the evening.
Okay. In the meantime, I suppose I should have asked the innkeeper for more information.
Probably a good idea.
Let's go back for lunch.
Cool.
So, following Nana and Varric's magic, holy brothel adventure, Mars and Femena, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, I want to move up to. I have to. Right, Tristram Wolf to ask any work. So that's top tier, right?
Top tier, yes.
I'm just gonna follow. Graz, I'm just gonna follow you if that's okay.
That's fine.
I'd say, yeah, make a persuasion check to actually try and like get directions to to his office, shall we say?
Persuasion. Ooh.
The D cut out there, so the only thing I heard was get erections to the.
And that was the
Okay.
last bit. Keep up.
That's not where we're heading. So 16 persuasion.
Yeah, you get a few looks, but mostly, you are generally shown up to as a up to his office. You're like advised to state you're a mercenary if anyone asks, and yeah. But eventually, you're led up through into this the top tier of the citadel, which is very like fortified even by the ring standards. Like there's bastions all over the place, towers, siege equipment. It's very grand and well maintained as well. And you're eventually like shown into a back room, but not a back room, but this an office area or the door to office by two soldiers who just sort of stand with you diligently. Just if you wait here for a minute, sir, he's just having a meeting.
Very well. I will just stand and wait.
Oh, you've gone for me, Muzz.
Oh, what? So have you, by the way.
Yeah.
So let me just.
Because there's no one else. We don't know who's.
I can see
still.
still
I've only
Kazoo.
lost. Yeah, I've only lost Maz.
Okay.
Okay. It's your fault.
Ha!
Yeah.
No!
Well. What?
I refuse.
I mean, it's only Roll20's fault, not
Yeah.
ours.
Oh, that's always. Yeah, I know, but it sounds funny if I say that. What do you think I have? Accuracy? But yeah, sort of just standing up there for a couple of minutes, you sort of vaguely overhear what sounds like conversation you're not really listening to, or just conversation, and just like you can hear like voices being raised, but not really. Yeah, actually, what's both of your passive perceptions?
14.
It, my friend, is 14.
Okay, both of you could probably vaguely overhear like. Not like most of the conversation, but more of a raised at the end, like sort of a shout. Well, less of a shout, more of a sort of quite raised voice version of a shout. We can just hear, if you useless bureaucrats won't look after my men, I certainly will. And you just hear, and the door is just thrown open by again this by the red dragonborn you saw earlier, who just sort of looks at both of you and says, "Do I have any business with you?"
I don't think so.
Good. And he just storms off.
What now, girls?
I think we should move in. See if we have business with Tristan.
You think he likes bread?
You can always ask. But let's
Let's go.
ask for work before you
So
offer.
I love how the two low charisma people are the ones going off to. Yeah.
Low charisma or not, I got it done for once.
Yeah. You sort of enter the room and it's this large, if well maintained, if not opulent office space. Sitting at a desk, looking over several papers, is this gentleman in his 30s. Gentleman in his 30s. He looks to be about in his got this short lightish brown hair and a few battle scars as far as you can see. Still in full plate with a cape with the emblem of this with a wing on it. And he just sort of looks up to you, says, after that this can't be any worse. Who are you?
My name is Gruss. This is Seminar.
Hello.
Pleasure to meet you.
We heard you might have some work for us.
Indeed I do. Drowning in it almost. So, are you a mercenary company, a band of adventurers?
Adventurous.
Useful. Well, tell me, where do your talents lie, shall we say? With no shortage of jobs, and he just looks over this pile of paperwork in his desk.
Well,
With little manpower to allocate to them.
we have some talent in sneaking, we have some talent in bashing heads.
Bashing heads might come in useful later. How long are you staying in the city? He begins writing down on paper and his
Depends on what other information we can find.
information on what?
The Dark Mark.
Dark Mark. Sounds ominous.
Indeed.
He just you can get the sense he's not paying huge attention now that he's passed up his own expertise. If you want information, it might be worth trying to find. Well, we had a Grey Arcanist move in recently. Their name was, I think, something Starast. No, I can't remember. They're in the Royal Library now. The Royal Library, if you want to meet them.
Starast, you say?
Yes. Unsettling fellow, but well, that's common for their order.
Very well. Do we need permission to enter the Royal Library, or can we just walk in?
One moment. He just, shifts through a few drawers, pulls one open, writes a quick piece of paper, and hands it to you. It should come in handy. It should get you past any guards. Just don't break anything.
I'll try not to.
The librarian already wants my head as is.
Well,
the crone is more dangerous than half the stuff on the planes.
You didn't forget to return any books, did you?
No. She's just very dedicated to her job.
As most librarians are.
Which I'd normally see as a positive trait, but well, there's such thing as too much of a good thing. So, work. This brigade's like pulling out pieces of paper.
I do have to say, we are a small party.
Yeah, small, good. He shifts a lot of papers to the side, and then just pulls up one.
We do know a bit of magic.
Magic might be useful. He's just sort of keep reading this piece of paper up and down. Well, let's see. I don't suppose you overheard any of that last conversation. My last guest.
You mean that Dragonborn that stormed out?
That Dragonborn, yes.
Not really, no.
Well,
but do enlighten me.
Well, there's been several murders and disappearances all of which employees of his. All of which in the last 2 days, and I scarcely have the resources to investigate them.
And do tell, what is this man's name?
Morval. Morval Dragonborn names. Some are longer than books. Most call him the Jackal although less than.
Very well.
Shall we say a less than pleasant name, but well, accurate.
And where did these murders take place?
Across the city, most in the industrial district. We've had 3 confirmed casualties so far, missing, 2 of which were in his very foundry. Let's just say he's getting impatient with the guards.
But if it's inside his foundry, you don't expect guards to stay guard inside a foundry.
One of the casualties was a guard. Seems whoever did it was good at what they do. But well, we've barely got the guard power to guard them, let alone investigate them. No stretch of manpower as is.
Anything else I should know?
Well, Morval is a very unpleasant figure. However, unfortunately, you might have to cooperate with him for this as well. Half the presumed murders took place in his property.
We'll see if he's cooperative. If not, then I will just return for something else.
Well, yes. I don't suppose. How many in your group? Just wondering.
Right now, 5, although one has been AWOL for a few days now.
AWOL as in missing, or AWOL as in
sleeping?
The pleasures. And he sort of gives a bit of a derisive snort. Well, either way, this should be. He just begins writing up another thing. This should be something your group might be able to handle. Magic might come in useful, as might bashing heads. We don't know what we're dealing with, other than that it's skilled and quick. So if you'll just, if one of you will just sign here, and he hands you this contract.
I want to read the contract first.
Yeah, of course. You read over it. You've seen the odd mercenary contract in the day. This seems to be quite straightforward. It's non-binding, and it's all gold is paid afterwards. To the sum of 100 gold, should you solve the issue to a satisfactory manner.
Is this the murder investigation, or is this something else?
The murder investigations.
Right. I will have to talk this over with my group first.
Of course, of course. I can always make a copy.
Trust this is like 100 cash. Come on, 100 gold. That's not enough, man.
That is also.
It is the Wolf overhears you. The 100 gold is at the moment, assuming no other complications arise. Assuming you're able to go to the crime scene, instantly figure out who did it, and be back to me within the day. Your prices will rise, for we're low on manpower but flush with gold.
Very well. We can take a few days.
Take however long you need. I prefer this actually be solved than finding some scapegoat to ring up.
No other jobs currently.
There. He just looks at the huge pile of paper next to him. Well, if you've got a small division, then I've got reams of work for you. However, there is some other things you could certainly do for us. Say, with yes, somewhat related. Well, not really, but it's a possibility. The sewers around the area where murder took place. I've had rumours of infestations there. People going missing down that area.
I can certainly check that out.
Yes. Find out what's down there. And, well, bring a part of it back at least. We have no idea how strong it is, so you'll be going in blind, but we can't send a large force in there as well. Be a massacre. Not to mention, troop tactics get a little, claustrophobic in sewers.
Same price?
Larger, 200 gold. Another 50 if you can take a trophy.
Again, I will speak it over with my group.
Of course, of course. He hands you another sheet of paper.
You're just collecting them all.
If you could, I would like an answer before the evening. I'm a very busy man.
We should have an answer before the evening.
Thank you.
I will leave you to your work. You seem to be swamped.
Indeed.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye. He begins instantly going, like, opening another drawer of paperwork and laying onto its desk.
Poor bastard.
Graz, you wanna go talk to the? You wanna go to the library?
Yes, I would like to go to the Royal Library. We need answers.
Let's go.
You're escorted over by this by the two troops. You get the sense that no one other than a soldier here, or noble or high-ranking official comes here without an escort, and you're let in and you're eventually let in after. Well, they just sort of open the door for you. They see your permit. It is this large library with a just rows and rows of books and sort of very few people in here. Like you can. Hear the odd conversation here and there from old scholarly types, but it's very quiet. So, what do you do?
I'm trying to find the Grey Arcanist that was supposedly here.
Just make me a perception check.
I mean, he shouldn't be too hard to recognize, right? He's probably clad in grey.
Well, I'm not gonna recognize him.
I might not. Not even with...
Even when your bonus for perception goes up, you still can't roll. But yeah, you don't find them. All you find are two sort of like older scholarly types talking in the sort of centre. Just about philosophy as far as you can tell, but...
I will close in and try to listen what they're talking about.
I'll just follow him.
You sort of listen and it's very high, like theological, religious, like philosophy. It's maybe knowledge religion checks just to even keep up.
Religion. Oh no! Oh my god!
Graz, you don't know what a god is.
Nope.
What is this religion you speak of? Is it food? Can I eat it?
For men, you catch the odd mention of several deities, but you don't really keep up properly. You get the mind this is very high-minded and blue sky.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna cough and try to butt in on the conversation.
Yeah, one of them, this very
I
old
think
man
you
with
should let
quite a
me do that,
long,
friend.
quite a long white beard, just jumps. Hello. Who are you?
I lost you, Kazoo.
Yeah, I lost you as well.
Hang on.
My name is Gruss. I'm looking for a Grey Arcanist.
Grey Arcanist. Yes, they're he just points. He gives you just points to us. So this sort of like it's like quite quiet alcove in like the library you hadn't noticed before. Over there, just yes. Good luck.
Thank you.
And then start to sweat slightly.
Oh boy. Do I notice the sweat?
Yeah. That's probably.
Right.
Strange people, aren't they?
On your guard, Temenor. On your guard.
Yes, sir.
I'll approach the alcove. See if I've.
Yeah,
recognize
standing in it is this figure in this like grey and gold robe. They're holding this. They've got their back. They're holding this like large, quite dusty tome of something, and like flicking through it every once in a while. Occasionally giving a quick like sort of hand motion as some like sort of blue arcane light reaves the book. But occasionally dies down. They don't seem to be paying much attention to you.
Excuse me.
What do you want?
I would like to ask if you have any information concerning the Dark Mark.
Dark Mark. Can't say it's something I've ever heard about. So the figure turns around and you just see this robe completely covers their entire body apart from the face, which is covered by this like silver grey sort of facial mask, like as in like fitted to their features, as if hard to describe. You know those masks which like have a completely humanoid like human face on them.
Like in the Last Kingdom.
Like the sort of like old Anglo-Saxon style like masks.
Mm-hmm.
Are they lying?
We can't see their faces, we wouldn't know.
I mean,
this figure turns around and just says, extrapolate, please.
We have encountered a Dark Mark while trying to save the city of Glassfeld on several occasions. It has something to do with an eclipse.
Nothing I have heard, at the very least. Describe the Dark Mark.
Name of the campaign.
Name drop. Well, half a name drop.
Half an end drop.
Describe where you saw it. Did it seem to be like a curse to you? Was it only upon allies, enemies?
It has been shown on many an enemy we fought. Also, sometimes enemies fought us that were guided by someone with that mark. Or led by someone with that mark.
A Dark Mark. Did you see any kind of symbols in it of deities, demon lords, archdevils, harbingers, anything?
Not much we recognize, except for I think it's the Harbinger of Death that we determined. Well, it's been a few weeks since we spit through those books.
You didn't recognize. Yeah, you didn't recognize any. I'm going to say you didn't recognize any current deity. Although some of you did recognize, did see the some of you did see Sazuriel in some visions. Unfortunately, I'm unable to help you without any dead or alive samples of this mark.
Would you happen to know anything about this? And I show him my shoulder.
Does this mean anything to you?
God. I show him the mark on my shoulder.
They sort of look over it a bit, give it a glance over. Doesn't match up to any religious or iconology I know of. How did you get it?
It was given to me when fighting the Dark Mark.
Given to you, as in by a companion?
Out of the blue. More or less, it was blue.
Interesting. I am sorry, but I can provide no further information on this. This is alien news to me. If you can give me a... Did you notice any effects of the mark? Anything?
When it was first given, we got a lot more health back. It was a healing word, more or less.
Suggests some kind of divine magic in view. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to discern much else. Of course, I could discern things with, like, from the mark, but that may be fatal to
Yes,
all parties involved.
That would not be ideal.
If you can, how long are you in the Ring of Iron?
We have some jobs lined up. We may be around for a while.
I haven't heard of any sightings of creatures like this recently. No, actually. He seems to remember something almost. There were rumors of some shadow magic out on the plains from some marauding groups, a few soldiers speaking rumors of it, but never gave much credence.
Those rumors are true. I've served with the 43rd, and they have run into the same mark in the east.
Should you encounter any creatures that have this, could you return, well, not return, but bring them to me, alive or dead? I might be able to discern more from this mark, and if they are enemies, then they are far more expendable than those who come to me willingly.
Alive might be a problem.
Well, I'll take what I can get. I simply believe that studying its effects upon a living subject might be more useful, but do what you can.
Very well.
Your survival would of course be most paramount to you.
That is definitely true. Well, that was useless. Right, I'm just gonna bail out and go back to the tavern to meet the rest of the group, I guess. Talk it over.
Probably is. It's probably about lunchtime now with all your time going through, security.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna just head with Gruz.
So I'm gonna say that you both meted around in the White Flag and were before.
Yep.
It's somewhat busy, but more the lunchtime crowd. So there's mostly just a few, not many people in here if it's not deserted. This is probably around the same time Nanar and Varric got.
Yeah.
Here we be.
Guess we'll have to get a separate table for all of us.
Most tables lie unclaimed. You could certainly, easily find a 4-person one.
Just so we are not overheard. I have several jobs we might get. The odd job in the sewers. Apparently there's something that is haunting people there. And we may get quite a bit of gold out of that. If we can bring a trophy, even more.
Okay.
And
Trophy of the thing that is haunting them.
Yes, they want whatever is down there killed and possibly beheaded or whatever makes a good trophy.
Ghost, if you say haunting.
No. It's people are disappearing in there, and we need to find out what it is. And if there is a trophy to be had, we should bring it to them.
Why are people going down into the sewers?
It's not so much that they go into the sewers, but it's suspected that whatever is killing those people is in the sewers.
Oh, I see. It is coming out of the sewers.
Possibly.
I see.
It might be hiding in the sewers. We don't know for sure until we find out.
The people that are being taken, do they have something in common? Or do they come from the same place?
I haven't asked. It was a simple request to kill something in that area. And then there was a slight altercation between the red Dragonborn we saw earlier and Mr. Tristan Wolf. Oh, I keep trying to say Hawk because you put me on a bad path last week.
I was probably thinking of fucking Dragon Age, because I've been playing Origins recently. Like, no, the other animalistic surname. God damn it.
He has had several murders inside his foundry and wants a group of people to find out what is going on there.
The Dragonborn wants help.
Yes.
I refuse.
It was offered to you by the city, by the
It was
himself.
offered by the city, not by the Dragonborn himself. That is. I
You
have not
remember
spoken
that,
to.
Wait, people are going missing from his work?
Yes. Even a guard has gone missing.
Nina laughs full-heartedly. She laughs so hard she cries.
By missing, I assume you mean dead, Gruz.
Yes.
People are dying. What is wrong with you?
There have been several murders there, at least 3 confirmed.
There were 2 murders there, 1 murder
They aren't just
outside of it.
disappeared.
I think the bodies were found, otherwise they wouldn't know it was murder. Kazoo disappearing again.
Yep.
Roll 20. But yeah, there was there were 3 confirmed murders and one missing, presumed dead.
Oh,
2 of which were in the foundry, one of which was and the other body was recovered in the elsewhere in the industrial district.
I guess his patience has worn thin.
He
Well,
was.
since we're on the same paths, really. Varric and I went today to a temple. Nina kind of lingers a little while before begrudgingly calling it that.
The temple of Calistria.
Then I was like the really innocent, like 18-year-old who gets taken to a strip club by his friends.
I'm not 18. I've been around a while. I've been in the wilderness, you know.
I meant in demeanor.
I'm more like the kid that tells on the other kids for going to the strip club.
Please elaborate, Nanar. I'm not sure I understand you.
I don't really need to understand. You know my religion role.
No.
I too live in the woods. It seems that you have trouble explaining something.
No, this has all been out of character. Stop this. We're not talking about that. I said we went to the temple.
Yes.
To try and find a priestess who seems to have requirements of knowledge of this Dragonborn, so she might know something that would be useful to us, but we've been struggling to find her.
Well, I need to give an answer before the evening, whether or not we will take either of these jobs.
Well, I say we take both.
It is good money.
I mean, there is a chance that they are connected. All of these might be connected.
Possible. The sewers do run under the city. And
yes,
maybe
maybe this priestess might have something to do or some knowledge of the murderers.
That might be as well. I am all for more work.
Well, I mean, since we are here and doesn't really require us to leave the city yet.
Oh, I agreed to these jobs to help those who are suffering.
Also, I have spoken to a Grey Arcanist, and he was less than helpful.
Also, you're probably unable to determine, the gender of the person underneath the thing. They were very well considered.
Yeah, that was... I couldn't see his face, I couldn't see what he was, and to be fair, I didn't really get any information regarding either the Dark Mark or the marks that were placed upon us. He was asking for a live specimen to bring back to him. Or dead, but he was adamant that he would prefer a live one.
It's a shame that he didn't tell us this before we left, or we could have taken one of the bodies of the orcs that we killed.
Well, yes, but we didn't know him then.
True, and considering that it did take a few days, the body might have gone a bit bad on the road here.
It would have smelled badly. So do we take both jobs? and see what's going on.
Facetious.
Groz is
say
in
yes.
charisma. Don't blame him.
5-7.
Both people who went to negotiate contracts have negative charisma. Good job.
Yes, I would actually agree that we could do both of them.
Very well, then I will return to the Citadel. To Tristan to tell that we will take the jobs. We just need to sign these papers before we do.
Well, it might be good for
Perhaps we
us.
should go with him.
Yeah, it's probably good that we all go there. At least meet the guy that is hiring us.
Very well. He was wondering about our party.
Fair.
So just gonna go back up to the
Well, I'd like some lunch first.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. You
after
can
our lunch.
certainly order some lunch for all of you. Let's say for a decent lunch to be about 1 silver each, with like a good sort of
I'll take a decent lunch.
yeah, probably about 2 silver each. It's more like British pub food.
Yeah, I'll probably take the... I'll take the 2
I'm
silver
alright
one.
with the 1 silver lunch.
Yeah, it's more like you just sort of bread, bits like a little bit of soup,
I've got one
bit
of
of
them.
cheese. It's
I
probably
can
very
pull out
stale
my
by now.
bread.
I think there's
You
something
guys
wrong with
thinking I
my
care?
character sheet. I apparently have 3 platinum, and I don't think that's right. I'm gonna assume that I thought...
Yeah, it
maybe-
should probably be in
oh.
the gold section, the 3.
No, I have 38 gold.
Oh, no, it's, I did the same. It's silver, probably.
I don't understand why I would have done that, but... Oh well. 1 silver lunch, please.
Okay, yeah, you can certainly order all that up. It's good food, decent food. You know, not a culinary masterpiece, but good, simple food, filling.
I'd like
Keeps you
to
going.
replace my bread with new bread.
Yeah, you replace your bread, your very stale, probably changing colour a bit at this point, bread, with the new bread,
Fresh bread?
fresh bread.
Nice.
Very happy.
Very nice.
Right, shall we go back up then?
I don't see why
Everybody's
not.
done.
Let's go.
Lead the way.
Very well. I'll just walk in front and show the papers that I got from Tristan,
Yeah.
so we don't
You
have to wait.
you get escorted by the same 2 guards.
Wow.
What
What a luxury.
To his door once again.
Yeah.
He's get in another meeting again, sir. Sorry.
I'll halt. Who's it this time?
Hooded woman. Didn't give a name.
We
Hmm.
will wait.
Yeah, waiting for quite some time.
I'd like to meditate.
I'd like to try and...
Varric would like to actually try to listen. Is there actually conversation going, or is there...
Perception check.
Huzzah.
You perceive the fact
Wolves
it's
mean
actually
nothing to his elf ears.
you perceive the fact that you're actually in a RPG and you're as mad as a result. You can hear a conversation between this woman who's keeping her voice. It's still hear like the odd word, and Tristan. The gist of it you seem to get coming in halfway through is that the Church of Calistria is looking into some of these murders as they've been hired by an exterior party. And
Interesting.
so we'll also investigate the situation.
We're gonna be better though.
Yeah. Eventually, they sort of come to a sort of and the door opens. This time, a huge buzzing wasp just is at the door when you open. As
Excuse
in,
me?
like, man-sized.
A man-sized wasp?
Mm-hmm.
Have we
Do
ever
I need
met?
to turn into a giant wasp too? Just
It
to,
has a giant wasps have a fly speed.
for God's sake, I'll crawl on the ground.
Yeah, like a second or two after it, this woman, like this blonde woman, elven woman, who you see pulling her hood up as you
Wait.
as
Wasps
she
are the familiars
leaves.
of the thing, aren't they? Are they?
Hmm?
Are they? Are they not? Or am I wrong? They're the familiars of the priestesses.
Make me a religion check to see if you're not metagaming.
You gave us something to read, and I goddamn well read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
you would know that. You would know that. You would in fact know that, yeah. And this woman just sort of pulls her hood up, any of your glance, and walks off quickly.
Wait. No, she doesn't, because I'm gonna walk after her and call to her.
She doesn't listen to your call.
I'm gonna just walk after her then. I'm just gonna keep going.
See, the wasp buzz ahead of you a bit, giving you know, her a sidelong glances. Hmm. How far are you gonna follow her?
I'm gonna try and catch up with her.
Okay. You you eventually follow for a few twists and turns, and make me a perception check.
Oh God.
For once.
You eventually sort of come to go through a few twists and turns of this building. I come to a sort of empty hallway, sort of like an empty hallway with a few alcoves in the room. You don't seem to you can't see her in any of the shadows.
And she just vanished. Oh, that's great.
For fuck's sake. It's what, a corridor?
A corridor, yeah, with a few alcoves, each of us with a statue of what seems to be to you some conquerors, great soldiers and generals. Nothing
Can I just
you
walk
really.
down the corridor?
You can walk down the corridor, sure. As you sort of get about halfway, you see some movement in the sort of corner of your eye, and suddenly there's a knife shot thrown a hand over your mouth as you're sort of pulled into an alcove.
Uh-oh.
You can just sort of hear a voice behind you. Who are you? Who sent you?
Nobody has sent me. Who are you?
She just points her knife a little further in. Why are you following me?
Because I wanted to ask if you had happened to be at the White Flagern yesterday.
Why?
The innkeeper told me that a priestess of your church was asking about the red dragon, and I am also interested in knowing about him.
To what end?
Revenge.
You feel the knife relenting pressure a bit, but it's still definitely to your throat. And you were looking for me in particular because?
Because the innkeeper told me that somebody who I now think might be you had asked him about the Red Dragon.
Your guess is accurate. So you feel the knife relenting pressure, but then she just immediately pushes you away. Should you find any information on him, or any wrongdoings on his part, leave your name at the temple, shall we say.
I mean, I was there all of this morning.
And let me guess, they gave you nothing useful.
Absolutely nothing.
Walking into a temple of Callista and demanding individual clerics was never going to work for you.
Can't say I've ever been in one before.
Interesting experience?
It was something.
She pulls her hood up again, and just you see the giant wasp buzz out of like around the corner again. Should I find any information or need your help, I will contact you.
I appreciate
If you find
that.
anything, go to the temple. Say you're looking for a priestess Sayere.
Can you spell that?
Not Sayere. I mispronounced my own name. Sayere.
Can you spell that anyway?
Okay,
So,
not how I spelt it, but alright.
No, not how it sounded to me either.
I was like, so yeah, that's what I just keep trying. You know when you mispronounce your own name?
Siri is how I read that, but that's me.
Siri.
Siri, but
Yeah.
Siri, use revenge.
Siri, kill Alexa.
Yeah, she pulls her hood up again and paces away. Her giant wasp floating through behind her, giving you a strangely conciliatory look for a giant insect, and then just following her.
Nice.
I mean, your neck
Alrighty.
hurts a bit, but
Eh.
You're gonna pass this information on when you return?
I mean, I assume you guys will have been ushered in while I was gone.
That is true.
Yeah, probably.
yeah, you sort of entered in and just see Tristan again looking almost haggard at this point. Oh, you're a welcome relief at once. He just like runs a hand through his hair. So, will you accept the contract?
Yes, we will accept both of them.
Oh, thank God, Amadei.
We
Just
may have some
sign-
more questions though.
Of course, fire away.
You said the murders were near the sewer.
Yes, one or two very close to the sewer. Also, a few patrols around the sewer. We tend to patrol the sewers regularly to try and prevent this from happening. However, it seems we were too late to this area. We've lost one or two guardsmen down there.
Any bodies returned?
None that come back.
As for Morval,
Mm-hmm.
what else can you tell about him?
Well, Dragonborn, arms dealer, has the largest foundry in the city. Right now, we're currently dependent upon said foundry weapons and armor, which isn't ideal, I know, given his character, but we have no other choice. Not much. Rumor is he has a strong connection to his blood, has some sorceress abilities. Other than that, your standard imperialist Dragonborn profiteer.
So he might not be on the up and up.
Almost certainly not on the up and up. However, given how much effort he's put into pursuing this case and forcing it to my attention, it seemed counterintuitive to suspect he has any myself. But then again, I'm no detective.
We will look into it, I guess.
Thank you. And this is your full group. He just says to you three.
No. The tiefling is gone at the moment.
Ah.
Might return in a bit.
Yes, I'll return whenever enough time has elapsed.
Just stay for 49 hours around the time. Speak of the literal devil. Or speak of the devil's spawn.
Ha ha, angel.
Hey, tiefling.
Hey, celestial tiefling.
Still, yeah, but still infernal at one point.
For goodness sake.
Look, I'm trying to do my fantasy racism in peace here. Don't be bringing logic into this.
The door! And I walk sideways so as not to hit my horns.
I
By
take
horns,
you're
I mean
the
antlers.
fourth member of the group. He looks to you.
Yes, I am with
Good.
these people.
Good. He just sort of takes the two contracts. Quick himself. If one of you could sign on both of them, please. I take it you had time to review them.
I have.
Has anyone actually read the contract?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
When I first met him, I read him over. Standard contract. Non-binding.
Non-binding, but of course, no payment up front, and no benefits to any family, relatives, or anything else should you die, or any response on the Empire's or City's part. Just so you're aware.
Nothing I haven't seen before.
Well, that's unless there's anything else you want. Any more questions? I may, if you need anything said later on. I'm a busy man, often in meetings. But well, I'll put aside time to get these headaches done.
Mm-hmm. Anything you need? Anything anybody else wants to ask?
Where exactly is the sewer part that... can you point us to that?
Yes, he pulls out like one of several maps on the Citadel. He just points to an area midway through the industrial district. Right about there.
May we keep a map?
Of course, I have enough of these.
Thank you.
He produces a smaller, more handheld one that he gives to you. He marks the point on the map where this is where our guards went, got intercepted, shall we say. And he puts another mark on the map. This is where the bodies were found in the street. You notice it's not too far from the about maybe a couple streets over from the from the sewer. And there is Morval's foundry.
How far are those two apart?
They're like opposite sides of the industrial district.
So not really close to each other.
So
okay.
not very close at all, no.
Thank
no
you.
more questions, I guess.
Good.
Well,
good luck.
Thank you.
Before we leave, I'd just like to put a piece of bread on his desk and just nod.
He gives you a very confused and
well,
and just sort of pushes it aside very lightly and cautiously.
Thank you for your time. We will return when we have news.
Thank you. The sooner this headache is dealt with, the better.
It's some bread. It helps the head.
He just again gives you another skeptical look. And if you were looking for any more contracts or term work, we're always more. The city produces no end to problems and issues, which can normally be fixed by gold or a blade.
Very well.
He nods. The guards are ready to escort you back out of the top layer.
I guess we'll go out.
What shall we do first?
I am quite interested in these murders. I'd very much like to look at them. The ones by the foundry.
They were in the foundry.
In the foundry, even. What do you guys think?
We could probably spend a night trying to see if there's anything. I'm presuming the murders were mostly during night.
Well, you've gone now. You don't know who the person who you're asking is else.
I feel like we have not asked enough questions.
We can ask questions at Morval. He's the one who put out the contract, after all.
You can. If that is what you'd like to do.
What is your problem with this, Morval?
I don't really trust a lot of dragons.
Fair enough.
But he is not a good kind. More so than others.
Well, he is a war profiteer, and he's an arms dealer.
And a slave trader.
That wasn't known. That
Nope,
wasn't
it's
mentioned.
Not known to many.
I did not know this.
I will keep that in mind when talking
Why?
to him.
We are not working for him. We are working for the people who, under his care, have been hurt or taken.
True.
I mean, I'm doing this for the money, but okay.
But yeah, I think the murder might be. Well, I'm not going to say easier, or the murders at the foundry might be easier, but I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that it might be easier to approach. Whereas
Do you
the
know
sewers might be quite dangerous.
When are sewers and RPGs ever dangerous?
all the time? Can I assume that you know this man, Nenar?
It doesn't matter what I know. Let us go and find out.
No,
What?
what I'm asking is, do you need to be disguised when we go there? Would he recognize you?
Do you think many people will recognize a tiefling who has giant golden antlers?
You can transform into an animal.
A bear walks into a man's office. And not a Sir Barrington Bear Eyes, the full-up fucking bear.
I can act as one of your familiars. I
Well-
think it would make more sense. Of course, none of you know the talk to animals skill.
Nope.
Nope.
That would make too much sense.
You don't have the pet
I
path.
can make it look like I can talk to animals.
Yeah, but it
That
doesn't help
me
us.
to ask
You
you
just-
questions.
Sign language?
Large dog, one bark is yes, two barks is no.
I mean more for the fact that I might want to elaborate more on specific
Mm-hmm.
points or ask specific things.
I
You're-
would say
you're
become a
asking
parrot, but you
the-
know.
The mystery obsessive in the party to be the one that can't do the interrogations.
I'm not saying you should, I'm just asking if you would be recognized, so if there's a risk for that. That was
Yeah.
my original question.
There is a risk, yes.
Yes.
I figured that was made apparent.
Well, you could enlighten us a bit more on what you want to know. We could try and shuffle in those questions.
I mean, I'm not speaking out of character, but we could spend some time, like hour or two, going through various things that we want to ask, so that if during the conversation they come up, then retroactively we can maybe make a roll or just come up with, hey, this might be something that we discussed about earlier.
I could try.
Try frantic typing.
Yes! I could just tell you some things that I would ask.
Yeah.
Where was he during the times that these things happened? Were the people have anything in common? When exactly all of the people disappeared? If they had people that they knew in common? You could ask did they all work on some sort of thing together? Like, did they socialize outside of... Did they know each other?
Still writing.
Detective mode, engage.
I'm trying to like plan an interview that I can't then change. Anything he says, question it. Because people often slip up if you make them explain something more than once. If they're lying, they won't always be able to lie the same way twice.
Varric, I think you should do our talking.
Oh.
You are most definitely better at it than me.
Probably.
Why can't I talk?
I mean, metagaming, charisma 7.
Oh no, I'm asking your character as an offended person.
Oh. You didn't ask many questions while we were with Mr. Wolf, Tristan.
Also started a fight earlier, but you know.
It's just relaxing. Pretty bored. It feels offensive that you wouldn't ask me. The fuck, man? I see how it is.
I mean, it doesn't have to be me doing all the talking, but perhaps I can be the one initiating the talks or something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fine. Up to you. I'm just here for the money anyway.
I will give you the contract so you can prove that we are hired for this.
Okay.
So who wants a familiar and what do you want?
I mean, I would like a parrot, but, you know, you can't be one.
Well, it will have to be a parrot that cannot fly.
A wingless parrot.
I mean,
So
a hunting dog would suit me, but...
What about a black cat?
Oh, good one. You might
Most
actually hide.
classic of familiars.
A black cat as a familiar? Such
No.
original.
I know.
No,
Well,
I
I mean,
like...
for example, if it would be for Varric, then of course something dark that would go well, or not, could hide in the shadows and in darkness would probably be preferable. And cat would
And
be
if with the
certainly
men or
nimble.
just a piece of bread.
Bread isn't an animal.
You don't know.
I do know that.
I would
I am
probably
fed-
go for a mastiff myself, but...
Well, now you've all said many things.
Well, a cat, a mastiff, or a piece of bread. The choice is yours.
So a cat or mastiff then.
Garfield.
I've not been a cat yet. I have been a dog.
Very well.
I could be a pteranodon. I can't. It's got a fly speed. But I'm
Yeah.
just
Also, you haven't seen one.
Look now here. You don't know me.
I know that. Unless
Right.
there's some rapid alterations to your backstory I need to know about, you have not been anywhere that has dinosaurs.
Okay, so I've actually been asleep for several millennia, and I
Oh, yeah.
was raised during
Yeah.
the
More backstory.
Here, have another 2-page document.
In the thing you sent me, there's no like small cat. Like they don't expect me to want to turn into a small
Well,
cat.
it probably doesn't have like combat stats or anything.
I'm pretty sure they have 1 hit point.
I mean, look, it tells me about things like snakes and
I have
cows.
a cat.
And
Tiny beast, unaligned.
does this thing not have all of the animals? That
I
are in
don't
the
know. I saw
book?
72 and assumed that was most of them.
Page 305 in Player Handbook.
Okay, one sec. I thought this would just delay my need for having to have that, but you guys go ahead. I'll just grab that.
We're also gonna have a break then now while you
Yeah.
figure out your familiar. So we'll be back in about
Your
10
familiar.
minutes.
Yeah. Wait, did I do my hand out a shot? Shit. Familiar.
Right, we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Catch you then. Bye bye.
Alright.
And now, a random murder mystery arc.
Oh yeah.
You did this just to torture me, didn't you?
Don't know what you're talking about. I would never do that.
Doubt.
Make
No,
me
no.
an insight check. The DC.
Make an insight check.
Yeah. Well, you know, the DC is 1.
Yeah,
I
I'll
might
join
not
that
be
then.
telling the truth. I might secretly find this to be a bit funny.
Right, I guess we'll be heading to the foundry then. It's not too far from the White Flagon, is it?
Nah. It's a short walk. By the time you've gotten back to the tavern from going through security twice, and Power and Nanar's Alcode Cyver in random priestess, it's probably going to be about late
Actually,
evening.
Her name is Sierra.
I know.
Well, you said random, so
Oh, you know.
I was just proving I listened.
There. Good job. Your trophy is in the post.
Thank.
Huzzah.
Should be there in 3 to 4 working days. Anyway, it's about like sort of late afternoon at this point. We were like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, I guess we'll head for the foundry.
Yeah, you can get the sense that work's starting to wind down a little bit. If not stop, but the sort of the late day dip in efficiency as everyone just wants to go home. Yeah. You go to the foundry. There's just not much traffic in and out. There's there's a few guards pacing around. It's wearing different uniforms and gear to the ones you've seen the city guards use.
So they seem like they are his personal guards. Or some mercenaries.
Do we recognize any of the emblems?
Make me a intelligence check.
Boy. Hell, I'm gonna use my inspiration for this. For once. Let's use it, right?
Are we all doing this to see if we
If
recognize?
you want to.
Investigation, right?
Just straight intelligence.
Oh, straight intelligence. God damn it. Okay, straight intelligence check.
I'm not used to being so low down as a cat. It's confusing me. Getting a weird angle.
Graz, no, you've never seen any one of these before.
Hmm.
You can tell they're mercenaries just by their, demeanor. But you can't get anything further than that.
Are they dragonborn? Are they human? I mean, I can just tell
Mostly a bit mixed, really.
Hmm.
Mostly human, the odd half-elf, and yeah.
Do we see any sign of the Dragonborn?
None.
Okay, well, Varric will ask one of the guards where he might be.
In his office, probably. You got business?
Yes, we do. I quickly show him the contract and then put it away.
He gives it if you look over. Alright, follow this way. He sort of nods his head to one of the guards who starts following behind as they lead you from the front. Basically, taken through this the walkway on the side of this foundry. Just the noise and the heat is quite significant. Just pounding of hammers. I think there's metal ore being cast here. It's a wee bit warm and loud.
Fair
Eventually, you're taken somewhat far away from the noise, although it's still quite loud, to the door to this opulent door of an office.
Is the door open?
Closed. One of the mercenaries just taps his spear against a door. Who is it? Some mercenaries here, sir. Said they have business. Got a contract from our commander. Let them in. And the door is just opened for you.
Well, Varric at least will walk in.
Yeah.
So will I.
You see this opulent office with several sort of just with suits of armor, weapons, the odd trophy put up against the wall. This is somebody who clearly takes a lot of pride in the stuff he's made. I see like a large bookshelf as well, and standing at the edge of this balcony is this tall red dragonborn with his hands crossed and his back to you. I take it you're who they sent to look after these murders.
Indeed we are. And we have some
Common
questions to
mercenaries
ask
after
you.
a homicide. He just turns around. Fire away.
Well, first of all, when did these murders happen?
Last night, about 9 o'clock. No, yeah, it was last night. Yeah, I had a mix up in the calendar.
All three?
Indeed.
And where were you at the time?
In my estate in the upper citadel.
Okay.
Anyone can confirm that?
He just snorts derisively. Several servants, I'm sure, if you trust them.
Now, what about these people murdered? They have anything in common?
Well, there are two people murdered here. One, a guard, and two, one of my managers. A man named Tom Garman. Very trusted individual. Anything else?
Do you have any idea why someone might to or would have murdered them?
To get at me, likely. I'm hardly low on enemies. My work is quite divisive to some.
I see. Do you have any ideas who it might have been?
He just sort of laughs boomingly. Oh, several.
Give me names.
Well, that's one Dragonborn commander in a city, half of the population of this city, likely the Temple of Kaluga. Several clan leaders in the Dragonborn kingdoms, and well, everything east of this fortress.
Okay, well, let's narrow it down to inside the city.
Inside the city, well, several. I'm afraid I can't give you much information on that front. Mostly just disgruntled workers who I've had to fire.
I have another question. Did these
course.
people work together on something?
No. Tom was a manager, he worked with everyone, but the others were, well,
Did they know each other?
worked vaguely together, but I can't say much on their out-of-work relationships.
Anything special they worked on?
Not to my knowledge. We simply mass-produce a standard issue weapons and armor here. Hardly any top-secret R&D going on here.
Can I do an insight test to see if he's...
Yep, you can. About what in particular?
If he's lying or trying to hide something in particular.
Okay, maybe an insight check. Everything he says, you're pretty sure is true.
Okay. You said that Temple of Callistrium might have something against you. Why?
Indeed. Well, several workers went to them, fired workers seeking vengeance, as is the nature of said religion, for what they see as unlawful firing. Or, of course, in the grounds of law, as I see fit, as well, as my right as employer, and is within the bounds of the law, so I did not see any issue.
Anybody you met from the temple?
Oh, a few tiresome clerics try to drag me through the legal system for what I've done, as well as one who is far less sulking around the premises in this past day.
Have you ever frequented that temple?
No, I would never.
So,
As dishonourable as it is.
Can you just quickly, what's the layout of this office that people are in?
It's a basically it's like a standard office so far. There's just like a just box room, quite large, and his desk in the centre. Like along the sides of the wall, there's several like armor racks, weapon racks, like trophies from like various like animals and monsters. And then behind him is a door to a balcony, which you remember looked over the square.
So, is there like documents?
There's a few documents all over the place, yeah.
If I were to jump up onto the table.
You're gonna jump up onto the table?
Yep.
He just, quickly bats you away. Off.
I'm gonna hiss the heck out of him!
He seems
hiss.
completely unconcerned.
Give him a bit of a glare.
He glares back. Please keep your animal under control. These are working premises.
Oh,
And we
I'm
are
gonna
working
hiss so
here.
Bad. Oh, I'm hissing so much.
He's still completely ignoring you.
so these people you fired, what did they do wrong?
Not showing up to work, showing up to work drunk. Not following proper safety procedures and other procedures. Dealing on the black market, one or two of them. Stealing as well. Nothing particularly egregious to my knowledge. Simply not what you'd want in an employee.
So you say dealing on the black market is a bad thing?
Well, several less than legal parties would be interested in arms. I don't doubt.
Can you show us or point us where exactly the murders happened?
Yes, in Garman's office. The guards will show you the way.
Just 1 minute. Can we see the bodies? Can we see the bodies?
They are still there.
That'll
Right.
smell.
Indeed it does.
Right, nose plugs in. Oh, it's nothing I haven't smelled before, but
I hope you have a strong stomach.
I have seen
I've
my
got a drunk
share of
stomach.
corpses.
Well, show them that. The two guards just nod. Just this way, please.
Just one more thing. We might be back with more questions later on.
If you must, whatever gets this done.
However, thank you for your time. And Varric at least will step out of the office.
Okay, the rest of you gonna follow?
Well, before we leave, I'm gonna point at the cat. I'm gonna do the two fingers in my eyes and then at his.
I'd advise you be less threatening in my presence. One of my employees has already died. Two, in fact. I'm a little on edge, if you don't mind.
I'm just gonna pull out a piece of bread out of my pocket, hold it, and then put it back, and then walk out.
Your size.
He
Just
doesn't
sits back
get
down
the
his
bread.
desk. Okay, the two guards will leave you to a shut room, another guard stationed outside of it. And one of them reaches for some keys and pulls and unlocks it and pushes the door open. Go ahead, try not to damage anything.
Don't worry about that.
We will be fine. Can I try to inspect the body of...
Well, sort of, before you go, it's another smaller office. And, well, like everything in there is well made and well fashioned, but it's not as opulent. There are two bodies. One of an armored figure in the same armor as the guards, lying down on his front in the like right on the doorway, pool of blood underneath him, and the other is just a what sort of artisan-looking man in standard clothes, lying back on in his chair that's fallen over, blood pouring from several wounds on his body.
So they are in the same room.
The guard was most likely surprised from behind.
Probably a good guess.
The manager might have actually seen it, though. And seen it coming. But
What
wasn't
is reaching like sort of Batman Arkham levels of like sort of thing?
Well, we can't lick any meat to see the last moments, so there we go.
Okay. There's probably a magic for that.
I don't
there
possess
is
it.
speak to death or dead, but I don't think we have anyone that knows that.
Nope.
It's a bit high level for the party right now.
I will do perception, please, for the smell. And
Okay.
no, ignore that because it's
Ignored.
wrong. I get advantage also. So
Okay. It's for just the smell.
yeah, I want to see if well,
You sniff the air a couple times. Mostly overwhelmed with the smell of the rot. The body's already starting to slightly decompose. Just the smell of like death is quite thick on the air. But you can't detect any strange. Bit of alcohol, maybe. Nothing much, unusual, other than dead person.
Can I smell the alcohol?
Maybe a perception check. No, you can't smell the alcohol.
Oh, alright.
So inspecting the bodies a little bit, what sort of wounds do they have? It's just...
Perception or investigation check.
I guess I'll go with the perception.
Okay, looking over the
Never
two
mind.
bodies, both appear to have died from several puncture wounds on the front and back, long and thin, from a long piercing weapon, maybe like a short sword, or rapier, or maybe even a spear. And like all the points were quite well aimed, each targeted like a vital organ. Like there's one punch for each lung, one for the heart, one through the neck, one through the stomach, for each of them.
Well,
You also notice
executed
on
murder.
their chests, there appears to be like some carvings. Both of which read words, fucking hell. Both of which reading Death to the Jackal in Elven.
What have we got, Varric?
Well, obviously we got two murders here, and seems to be very skilled in weaponry. And, well, they want the Dragonborn dead, I believe.
I'm gonna
Just-
purr. I'm gonna start purring very loudly.
I think the cat wants to say something.
Anything specific we can see about the manager?
Fairly standard bloke, sort of, early 40s, starting to, thinning hair. Shot quite a neutral expression, you notice.
He didn't see it coming. He didn't know what was going on.
Looking at the table of the office, does it look like there's anything that could have been there, but it's no longer there? So in other words, does it seem that there might be something stolen from there?
Not really. It looks just like, he's knocking over a few things on his desk. There's, knocked over sort of ink pots, some a broken quill on his hand. Like a few papers knocked off the table, but they just seem to be, sort of production documents. Nothing really out of the ordinary.
Okay.
I'll just turn to the guard. Is this the only way in and out?
He looks to the window.
Is the window open or closed?
It appears to be closed.
Was that window open when you found them?
No, it's closed.
As a thief that has maybe broken into some buildings, would it look like something that could be opened from the outside and
Make
maybe
a perception
even
check.
Perception?
I think also make a thieves' tools check, as it's sort of you know how they'd work and like your knowledge of how they operate. Looking it over, the lock looks decent quality, but nothing that like a decent lockpick couldn't get open with a bit of time. I'm looking very closely. It looks like the lock has been slightly. It's not. It's very subtle, but.
Sorry, cut out there for me. Seems
Right.
like that lock seems like it's slightly, and then you cut out.
It looks like it could be lockpicked relatively not easily, but it could be done by someone who's skilled at lockpicking, and it does look to you like it's recently been slightly forced open.
Okay, but is it currently locked back in?
It's not locked back in, no.
Okay, well, it would appear that actually the window is the route that this murderer approached, at least judging from the lock itself.
I'm gonna. Is there a windowsill?
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump onto the windowsill, pour at the window, then jump onto the desk and pour at the dude, and then I'm gonna jump over and pour at the guard.
Get off.
No, the dead.
Oh, the dead
guard.
one.
I think I understand what you mean. And that does make sense. So the murderer probably approached what came through the window, then killed the manager, and then the guard intercepted or something, and then the murderer decided to kill the guard as well.
I will purr and rub gently against Varric's legs.
But they didn't go further than this.
I don't know.
I think that if it was
I mean, it was evening or nighttime, wasn't it, when this happened?
Indeed, about 9 o'clock. They were both working late.
Was there?
This is the second floor, right?
Yes, the second floor.
Okay.
Was there anyone else around here working at that hour?
Few guards. Didn't see anything. The forges were all closed up. Well, most of the workforce had gone home.
I see. Barrack will peer down from the window a little bit to see if there's what's down there.
It's mostly just there's a sort of maybe a sort of maybe a couple meters of just of just ground, and then a spiked fence, and then just onto the open street.
But it does look like it's fairly easy to climb. Does it look like
I wouldn't say easy. You would say like an acrobatic, sort of type. They could definitely get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
You
about
wouldn't just say that any old twat could just walk in here, but
what about the
I can't remember.
ground?
Go on, Zach.
Yeah, what about the ground? Does it look like there might be some tracks or something down there?
make me a perception check. Actually, no, it's just concrete, so not
No.
concrete, but cobbled stones. There's no tracks you can see.
Nothing on the windowsill or just outside?
Maybe a perception check
Oh lordy.
or investigation if you want to do that. But
Well,
you can break the curse of your bad perception checks.
I got a bonus on perception checks though, so yeah, let's try it. Hey!
Oh
shit.
boy.
Looking at the windowsill, you notice that on the sort of windowsill there's a lot of dust that was building up. Just like casually does in just a room. But there was what looks to be two small. There's two areas of a where there wasn't dust, as if footsteps almost. Quite large, you notice to be footsteps, but
Large as in large for me, or
just big, general, yeah. Look a little larger than yours.
it's a sizable bloke then.
Fucking big windowsill.
I guess I also see a couple of cat paws there.
Yeah, also that.
I don't know if we mentioned this, but could you see into the room through the window?
You could, but not from the ground. But not from the ground level.
I'd like to. There's a note, right?
A note.
You said that there was a note that said death to.
No, that was carved into their chests.
Ah. I mean, it's okay.
So it's a kind of note, but you know.
I mean, do you speak Elven?
Yeah, in Elven.
Oh well, yeah. No, that wasn't what I was going for.
So we're looking for a pretty big guy, or at least somebody with pretty large feet. Skilled in both murder and breaking in.
What I'm wondering is if there's at least one of them was the intended target, or if they just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Seems to be a warning.
I
mean, I'm
that could just be
against Demonor's feet.
I mean,
I'm assuming I've been translated Elven because I can't read the. But
fuck it, I'll translate it for you now. But I'm wondering if this is just a diversion. If whoever got in here was either scared off, or he actually meant to kill these people.
I don't think this man was scared off. These murders were too easy, too quick. He got in and he got out.
I just think it's unlikely that nobody else would have spotted him at all. And why break in here of all places if he was skilled enough to get in here?
Is there paperwork in this guy's office?
Yeah, just having a look through it. Just mostly, production, shipping records, just general documents, really. Nothing really catches your eye as interesting, unless you're really into shipping manifests.
This might just have been
Oh shit,
warning.
that's my jam.
I am gonna pop up onto some of them and sort of knock them about with my feet.
They react as parchment expected.
I just, wonder if maybe my teammates would react to me looking for information.
I mean, fuck, I'll go over and see what it is the cat is poking at.
Not specifically poking at anything. I'm just exploring the items here and the information. I'm looking for clues.
Well, you're using those little grey cells.
The little bristles.
I feel that this might have been just a message, maybe to,
A warning?
scare, warning or scare a little bit.
They
Get,
might want to.
I will go
Yeah,
and rub
check
against
out on-
Varric's legs again.
They might want him not here.
Yeah, so I actually think that it might be more likely that the murder of the checkout will actually happen in his own state. Wherever that is.
That would be an estate in the Upper Citadel.
Well, I know that much, but
Yeah, that's all we know, really. He wasn't very clear on that. Shall we go back to him then? Ask some more questions.
we could.
How much time has passed, by the way?
About 20-30 minutes.
Okay.
We're good.
Yeah. For now.
I mean, we could still
It's
look
about
around.
5, but a little later maybe.
Yeah, we could still look around the room a little bit if we find anything. Because I personally don't really want to be in this room more than I really have to. At least until these bodies have been cleared up.
Very well. Let's go back to Marvel.
So the guards open the door for you again. Anything you've surmised?
Well, there is some information, but I'd rather reveal that only to Orwell.
You just share that sort of nods, and the guards exit the room, close the door. Go ahead.
So we're going for Orwell's office, I'm assuming?
Oh, you know you're in his office now.
Oh, okay. Right, it would appear that the murderer came through the window. And you've probably seen the message that was left.
Indeed, I have.
Now,
Those men you fired, were they all elves?
Some,
But not all.
not all, mostly human. Although I hire several elves. I can't give you an exact number off the top of my head, but a sizable number have been hired under me at times.
Any high elves among them?
In this city, no. All wood. That a high elf would stoop so low as to work in a foundry by their standards.
indeed. Right, any elves fired recently? Can you give us their names? Or
He
half
pulls
elves?
open a sort of a document and just starts reading through. He's like reading through it a bit. None fired in the last 4 months. Only one worker has been fired in the last half year, in fact.
Was he a human, elf, half elf?
Human. Gentleman by the name of Garrow Sand, apparently. Ah, yes, I remember him. Kept showing up to work, drunk. Was on operating heavy machinery. That's not what I want in my foundry.
Understandable.
Last elf fired was a year ago.
I have another question, if I may. I happened to witness an altercation yesterday between you and Dragonborn.
Oh, Mayastan. Old blood feud. Our families have been in each other's throats for centuries.
Anything else you can tell us about him?
Military commander, peacock. We don't get along. Before I moved into the arms manufacturing business, I used to fight for my family. Our clans were at war once or twice, and at times several killed each other's subordinates. Seems he's taken it personally, even after the peace has been made.
Subordinates, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
I used to be a commander. As well, he still is. You could probably tell by his no doubt very showy entrance to the city.
Can I take a small glance at the Dragonborn's feet?
Sure.
Do they
Maybe.
size up to what I've seen in the windows?
They size up, but they don't really fit the same, sort of footprint.
No. But in general, the Dragonborn
size is
definitely...
correct, yeah. The shape, not so much.
Can wear boots.
I mean, yeah, but like it's like Dragonborn's feet are more, or boots even are more a sort of probably shell shaped because they have to have a wider front due to the toes going in different directions. You like working from memory, it's the wrong shape to sort of what you saw on that windowsill.
Okay.
It seemed human, but longer almost and thinner.
I have one more question about this feud.
Mm-hmm.
Was it normal to hire outside people to do the killing, or was this always a personal affair?
This was no, this was on the battlefield.
On the battlefield.
And although I have friends who maintain a core of espionage, I find the idea distasteful myself. If I'm going to kill an enemy, I want them to know it's me.
Very well. Well, we're just trying to find all the angles.
Indeed.
It could be that the murderer might not strike here next. It is a possibility, we don't know how high possibility, but it might be in your estate. So can you give us directions there so that we can possibly investigate any possible entrances?
If you must. He sort of gives you, writes you down like a location for his mansion.
Okay. Thank you.
Do only call if you have to. I prefer to leave business back here.
Understandable.
This might, however, not be business.
Indeed.
As I understood it, you are also known as the Jackal.
Indeed. A less than flattering nickname, but I care not nonetheless.
Very well. He didn't even bat an eye.
He doesn't seem to give a damn, really.
Right.
Right, well, don't think we have more questions for now, so thank you for your time. And we'll continue our investigations.
Thank you, I suppose.
We will be back if we have more news.
Indeed. And he sits down at his desk, begins just sort of going through more papers. And if you do find who is perpetrating these, if you've got anything useful out of them, if I can have one request. I want to deal with them myself if you can bring them back alive. If not, no issue. I simply am, well... What's the phrase? Vengeance is better served head on.
Are you sure you've never been to the Temple of Calistria?
We have some similarities in ethics. And philosophy, but no. Prefer my religion to be a little more lawful in nature.
Dragonborn.
Oh yeah, racism. If there's not anything else.
I got nothing.
Good. Because the reality of it is that dead employees bring up a lot of paperwork, especially when they die on company grounds.
Dying and being murdered are two very different things.
Same result. More paperwork for me.
Well, you're an arms dealer. You should be used to that.
I'm used to a lot of things. Doesn't mean I enjoy them. I'm sure you're used to near-death situations. I can't imagine you derive pleasure from...
Oh, I do.
He doesn't even look. He doesn't even look at you.
Well, offer your bread.
Yeah, fucking no. I'm gonna fucking bring out the piece of bread again and put it back in my pocket.
He pays it no mind at all, as far as you can see.
Right, time to get back to the White Flagon, I guess. Not much more we can do here.
Indeed.
Might be time for dinner, isn't it? Wait, what time is it again?
Yeah,
about half five-ish after this. By the time you get back to the tavern.
And I know we just, saw some dead bodies, but you guys want to grab some dinner?
I'm good. I can eat some.
Well, yeah.
Okay, after.
I assume that Nara's no longer a cat.
Well,
I'll
after...
be me again. When we're a little bit away from the
I was
place.
just gonna say, after we're out of air and eye shot.
Yeah, you just find an alleyway to turn back into a tiefling. And, provoke no more attention than you normally would.
Yeah.
Well, a bit more positive than you're used to. Less spits and, half glares.
Yeah, well, you said
Just
there was
curiosity and,
quite a few tieflings down in the lower levels as well.
Right, so... What is our plan? What do we think about all this?
I have no further interest in investigating this. Whoever it is has targeted these many have done so in the interest of ultimately targeting the jackal. It seems to be that he has pissed someone off, and I do not feel like being his lackey. If he dies in the process, I do not care.
But they've killed innocents as well.
Yeah, I don't... Well, I don't know this jackal all that well. I trust your word that he is not a very good person. However, I don't want innocent people to die in his name.
Innocent people will always die in his name.
So you going back to the tavern then?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were back at the tavern having dinner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, same. It's a little bit busier, but price is the same.
I'll have a 2 silver this time, please.
I'll take the 1 silver now.
Good Sunday roast.
Yeah, I only had a 1 silver.
I'll take a 2 silver as well. Big fella needs to eat. Oh wait, that's... There we go.
However,
So I
we
guess-
do have the contract to do or investigate the murders.
We also have the contract for the sewers.
That is very true.
We could just follow up on that, and who knows what we will encounter.
Probably do that in the morning.
Sounds like a good plan to me. I'd rather not enter the sewer at night.
Probably a good idea. I do have at least some sort of interest in finding out who the murderer is. If nothing else, then maybe we can convince the murderer not to kill the innocent and rather focus on the actual target.
I definitely don't want innocents to die, and if we can make a little bit of money off of it, I mean, that's the biggest plus.
I don't want innocents to die, but from all I've heard, seen from... I don't think it will be a loss for this world.
To profit off of war is a terrible thing for any of these people to be doing.
He did dodge quite a few questions.
True.
The problem might well solve itself. Whether or not that is the ideal outcome, I will leave in the...
Frantic typing.
Indeed.
Have we had
So-
our dinner?
What, are you just gonna keep eating, or just
Forever.
forever?
Long meal instead of a long rest.
Bread.
Doesn't that get boring?
Apparently
No,
not
that's a
for him.
terrible diet. Just alcohol and bread.
Alcohol to soak up the bread to soak up the alcohol.
It's been working for 100 years. It'll work for 100 more.
Fair enough. I like my food to have a bit more taste.
His body's strange. It takes in a it creates protein from alcohol.
By now,
Evolution,
probably
innit?
does.
All of this has made me. Well, I'm going to get some fresh air. And then I'll leave.
What time is it?
It's about after you take some time to eat. Nearing about 7ish, maybe. Unless you're wolfing it down, you got a decent amount of food for your money. About 7ish.
I'll just go sit outside, have with a tankard of ale, just see what passes by.
Just on like the front of the tavern, like okay, if you just sit down, like the sort of not beer garden, but you know, a few benches out, just have a tankard.
Same idea.
Yeah, mostly you just sort of see general passers-by. A lot of workmen going in for the after the day of work.
I do keep an eye out for feet, though. It's the one clue I found.
Jokes I can make about that. Perception check.
Oh, here we go again. Did I break it? Did I break my bad spell? Yeah.
They seem feetish. Nothing that you could really see from like
I'm just
walking
glad
by.
you spelled it with 2 E's right now.
I mean, I came very, very close, but I thought better of it.
Thank you.
Showed uncharacteristic restraint in making a sex joke.
Much appreciated.
Well, you know. But you can't really tell, especially just from like casual observation, what they're moving.
It's more like I'm looking for the size differences. Do I spot
There's a
any-
lot, you know. There's a like the odd half orc comes through, large. The odd just quite, you know, the odd dwarf and the odd just larger man.
But nothing quite that matches what we saw.
No, well, not you can't really tell because you know you're looking at feet as they go by,
Yeah.
and I assume trying to be somewhat subtle about it.
Staring at the ground, nothing new there.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't know.
Okay.
Varric would actually like to inquire from the innkeep that is there like any tavern or something for the sort of roguish type people?
Well, there's a fair few down the odd in the Elven Quarter. Well, for roguish sort of thing, you're sometimes better off looking at the Temple of Calistria, which I have a feeling you've already been to.
Quite right.
Mm-hmm. Well, as the odd one. Mostly in the lower levels of the city. There's the Hook. That's sometimes frequented by those more roguish in variety. But I shit all though, if you don't mind me saying.
Fair.
Not at all biased. If you were to look for someone on the more down low, I'd go there. If you also wanted food poisoning, I'd also go there. But you know.
Well, I'm more thinking about in terms of information rather than food or drink.
Well, if you're looking for information, again, Temple of Calistria is your best bet. Just, well, expect to pay in something in return. And to not try and fuck them over. They're, long memories, Calistrians. Hold terrible grudges.
Yes, I know. I witnessed some.
Hmm.
Right, so could you actually... I'm assuming that I'm holding the map or something, or just asking directions to various...
Yeah, he marks it on your map. It's in the sort of, like, southwest of the city. It's, yeah. Southwest of the lowest rank of the sort of, you know, lower citadel. So, yeah, keep your wits about you when you're in that neck of the woods. It's, well, If you're gonna get stabbed in the back anywhere that isn't the industrial, that isn't the anvil nowadays. I'd have a, it's there.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Good job. Okay, and then as you go back to the tavern, you sort of wait for a couple minutes, and then a sort of semi-familiar sort of like hooded figure comes and sits beside you. I see that you're searching around the Jackal's estate.
Searching his estate. We were searching his work, no?
His place of work, shall we say?
Yes, we did take a look.
And let me guess, crime scene pointed to someone, shall we say, against him?
It did point quite particularly to someone who held a grudge.
Doesn't say much. Well, I'm going to. For reasons much as you do, have my own reasons for distrusting the Jackal beyond all else. I'm going to go investigate his estate tomorrow night. Are you interested?
I am very interested.
Good. I'll send further details to you later on.
Real
Okay.
quick, out of character. If Nana was a cat, how the fuck did this person know? She's the one to talk to.
I mean, she saw you in a group earlier.
Okay.
True, and we were quite visible there.
You don't miss a 7-foot half orc.
I shall call for you when the time is right.
I shall be
And-
waiting.
Good. She just nods a little. Did you have any need of me before then? I shall be at the temple. I've told them to acquiesce your requests. More than they would one just wandering in. She just nods and walks off like discreetly, pulling her hood up again.
Alrighty.
I'm assuming we don't hear any of this.
Well, this is
no.
outside the,
No.
back of the tavern.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about 7, half 7-ish now. And it's starting to get a little dark.
Yes.
Like the lighting and like most of you having dark vision help means that you don't really have too much difficulty seeing, but it's starting to turn to night.
Guess I will return inside. See if the rest of the party is still there. Wait, no, Varric is gone, right?
No, I'm still there. I was just
Oh,
asking.
you're still here.
Yeah, I was asking just for the information of seedy bars and such.
Right.
So what do you gentlemen want to do next?
I'm going to my room. But first, I shall check on the horses. But we haven't done that in a while.
Oh heck! Me
Nana,
too.
would you like to come help me with the horses?
Yes.
Right, so how's what the fuck were they called? How's Stephen and what's his face doing?
Stanley.
Stanley.
We're doing fine. How are you?
They don't. I mean, I'm gonna talk on speak with animals, but I don't think that it gets through to Seminole.
Probably
Well,
not.
have you know I have a degree in English. That's very offensive to assume I don't just because I'm a horse. He doesn't actually say that.
No, he doesn't.
Commando, that's a problem.
Well, okay, fantasy English. Yeah, it's turning more to night than anything else. Do you guys want to do anything?
Yeah, I got
I want to talk to Varric for a moment.
Okay.
What did you read in this man?
Well, he was mostly speaking truth on what he was saying.
But he didn't really care, did he? He cared about his paperwork, but he didn't really care about the men he lost.
Well, yeah, it seemed more like he was more worried about the amount of paperwork rather than the actual people, yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to pursue this any further. Doesn't seem like worthy. If somebody wants to kill this man, I'm not too fussed about it. And it's not even the highest paying bill, so...
True. Well, wasn't the pay that if we find the murderer right away or can point to the right person right away, then it's the 100 gold, but if there's some extra, it would be higher.
Yes. If we wait longer, the price might be higher. If we wait longer, it might also be finished.
Well, I don't think we're quite that lucky yet.
Well, I guess it's the sewers in the morning then.
Yeah.
Unless you can dig up some more information.
Well, I mean, I did ask around a little bit about any taverns and such that might have more undergroundish fellows that might give us a lead on possibly the murderer or who might be behind the murders and why they are behind the murders.
Well...
But also we might find some information regarding the sewers, if there's any other entrances that might lead to the same area. Because if the people that have gone through the entrance have not returned, then maybe that entrance is not the safest route to go in.
This is actually a good idea. Just a small light bulb going off in my head. What can I say? I'm intelligent, but I'm not really that smart.
Pretty sure both your intelligence and wisdom are pretty damn high.
It's 14-ish.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, my wisdom is 15. Never mind.
That's higher than, like, not people here, but some, like, people's casting stat.
Yeah, I will return to my bed for now.
While we're tending the horses, I would like to speak to Theminor. You said that you only care about the money, but then you also said that you care about the lives of the people. Did you change your mind, or is it just depending on your feelings?
Well, it's less about the money and more about the drink. But I do care about the people. I care about both.
Equally care about the people and the drink.
Maybe if I had to choose, probably the drink. It depends what people. But like the people are up there, just below the drink.
Well, I feel like I need to make a. I feel like I need to make a meme out of this now.
No, genuinely giggles.
So you guys just gonna go to bed, or?
Yeah, sleep till
Probably.
night.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many rooms did we get again?
You bought one each.
Okay, cool.
As far away from Theminor as possible.
I mean, you guys can fucking fight over the room. I don't know if you got to pick the one that's furthest away.
You were all assigned them, and unfortunately, they all booked at the same time. So, you know,
Well, balls.
they're all next to each other. You hear the criminals like snoring, rattling through the rooms.
I'll just bash on the wall once. Go sleep on your side.
How do you think I'm sleeping?
Not on your side if you're snoring like that.
Oh, I am. It'll be worse if I don't.
Yeah. If he lies on his back and snores, it's a minor tectonic event.
And if you try to stop me, I'll break your nose.
That is if you can, but there you go.
Yeah, I think Cross's nose has been broken so many times that there's more broken than nose.
Yeah, it looks like mine. Okay, you wake fairly early as you went to bed again fairly early. And I didn't really drink, so you know, you're up quite early. It's about say 4 or 5 a.m. by the time you get up.
Nah, fuck you. I'm going back to sleep. It's 5 a.m. Fuck this.
The rest of you wake up at about 4 or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
More used to sort of, you know, longer days and earlier starts.
Can always have a nap later.
Yep.
True.
Well, that's like my sleep cycle right now. Well, very strict. I can always sleep later. I can always sleep later.
I wish I could.
Right, so what's the plan for today?
I said we check out the sewers. If we got some more information on where we should be able to enter.
Who would we ask?
Well, I've spoken to Varric. He said he might know some people.
Well, I don't know them yet, but I know some places where we might be able to ask.
I like you're like, oh, he might know some people. You're like, I don't know them yet. Might get to know some people.
But yeah, the places are, well, there's either we can go for the Temple of Calistria, where, well, I and Nanar have already been, although getting information out of there can be quite tricky. There's some taverns in the lower levels of the city. Of course, it is a bit debatable if there's anyone up at this time, other than maybe the tavern keeps or something like that, who might be able to give us some information, at least regarding the sewers. And then there's of course the Elven quarters, but I don't know if it's a good idea to go there at this hour either.
I say we have breakfast and then start asking around.
Sounds fair.
Yep, same prices as usual. You can have your just you know base meal, which is probably you know just probably bread and cheese, some water.
How much was the room actually?
The room I think we're running you about 5 silver each night.
Okay.
We spent 2 nights now?
Yeah.
5 silver is... silver is 110, right? 110
yeah.
Yeah.
Gold, okay.
Yeah, 10 to a gold and like and it's 10 gold to a platinum.
Right.
Are we taking that out of the loot chest that's for everyone?
Oh, I've been taking it out of my own cash for now.
Yeah.
I'll go for another good meal. Like to keep my strength up.
At some point, Varric will probably go wake up Themenor.
Ah, Shearsmith!
Yeah,
Are we
you
having breakfast downstairs?
Yes, and after that we'll be heading out.
Alright, nice, thanks. I'm just gonna go grab something to eat. And I'll go grab something to eat.
Okay, same as usual. You can. I assume you're having bread at this point.
I am. Like, I don't know what else I could even eat. or rather Femino.
Yeah, if Tomeno actually has a 20 constitution, but it's just down by the fact he eats only bread.
Well, he's at less risk of getting poisoned at least. So.
A lesser man would be dead by now. But yeah, by the time you finish eating, it's about 6. Still, starting to come.
Right.
And the sort of citadel is starting to, rev back up into gear, up to, speed again, shall we say?
Well, shall we head for the taverns?
Sounds like a good idea.
So you're going to the hook then?
Yeah.
Okay. Takes you a little while to get over there. You go through the run-down parts of the city. You get the sense this is where there's more. You sort of subconsciously just start keeping a hand on your coin purses. But you do come to all of this depreciated old tavern, black tavern front. It's called the Hook, with a single meat hook dangling on off the sign.
I'll go inside.
Okay, it's quite a dingy interior, and there's not many people in there. There's this sort of older looking gentleman in the corner, long graying hair down to his down to his sort of neck, like a beard. He just sort of in his drink doesn't really give you a look. At the tavern front is this greasy looking gentleman, got again fairly long hair down to his chest, but this sort of scruffy beard, and he just sort of gives you a look. Ah, new customers, is it? Haven't seen any of your faces around here recently, or ever actually. You could remember something like that.
Yeah, hopefully you haven't. Anyway, we are actually here looking for information.
Oh, information, eh? Don't quite know what you take us for.
Not information from any of the customers or anything like that. Rather, information about is there any sewer entrances nearby that.
Well, it's quite offensive that you've labelled us just a bunch of thieves, thugs, just by asking the information. It would take quite a slimy type to enter the sewer regularly. I might require a small gift to just get over this offence and be useful again.
Hold on. I got this. I'm gonna go up, take a piece of bread out of my pocket, and just sort of slowly slide it over to him.
He just gives it a look. What is that?
Varric will answer in Thieves' Cant. Sorry, I thought you were a different person then.
He replies in Thieves' Cant. Well, I could be. Small gift.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
He does do that. He's a bit creepy.
I'll give him.
Wait a second. How big is this pub?
Not very. Your antlers are scraping the ceiling a bit.
Okay, no.
So I'm basically hunched over.
You're having to hunch a bit,
Oh, boy.
I'll give him. I'll give him 3 silvers.
Why are you giving in? Just hold a knife to his face.
Not here to kill anyone.
Fucking aggressive.
Just threaten him a little bit, you know?
Thieves' Cant. Listen, mate, we're a little higher class established than that. That's what you say, to be honest.
I'm gonna start fucking bumping my stick against the bar.
Wait, do you mean your quarterstaff or something else?
I'm gonna let you decide.
I'm gonna assume quarterstaff. I'm not in the Temple of Callisto.
Yes, you're correct.
He doesn't really pay you much mind. But
Maybe I accidentally knock a glass off.
Manages to deftly catch
What
it,
are
put it
you,
back
a
on the.
cat?
Careful there, mate. Don't want to have any undue accidents here.
We are here just conducting some contracts from the citadel.
Oh yeah. Working for the Empire then. All the same to us. Just as long as you pay a little bit more.
Is this all still in Thieves' Cant?
Oh no, he's just saying this now.
How much more?
5 gold more.
Do an insight check.
Sure.
Mostly to see that is he just trying to get as much money out of us as he can, or is he actually, or does he even have any actual information or important information?
Let me an insight check. You can tell that he's definitely trying to drive the price up, you know, as much as he can without, or like no deal at all. And you're not sure if he has any information or not. He's, you know, yeah. You're given the impression that he does, but you can't be entirely sure.
Varric will actually change his tactic and say, okay, well, I guess you don't mind living next to sewers then? Even after the murders upstairs?
Don't mind it too much. Those who got murdered, they weren't from around here, shall we say. Don't know how to sort of keep their wits about them in a more dangerous environment. As long as you're smart and keep to areas which haven't been had murders reported in them, you're normally safe. Normally.
What
Oh,
sort
you
of
think so?
areas would these be?
Well, that information is a lot more expensive than I think you. If you want a complete map. Well, I'm sure I could be convinced.
I'm not sure you understand that there is so many more of us than there is of you.
He just leans over. One of me that you can see, lass.
Yes, and 5 of us that you can see. How many of us is there?
4.
4 of us that you can see.
He might be drunk. He might be saying 10 of us.
Roll me a. Are you gonna try and like convince him that there's actually more people there than?
We're a gang! This could go terribly.
He raises an eyebrow. Oh, I'm sure there's a full army out there waiting to grab me and take me away in chains should you not get your backroom deal, shall we say.
For fuck's sake, I need
So how about we cut all the
inspiration.
bullshit and just get on with business? I'm a busy man. He gestures to the empty tavern.
Clearly. Well, do you actually have the information that we require?
Oh, I do. We information brokers, you know. If we just went on selling information that didn't exist, we wouldn't last very long.
I'm gonna pull 5 gold out of my pocket, put it on the bar, put my hand over it. Start talking.
2 now.
I'll slide in 1.
He just like, holds his gaze.
This man does not deserve our money.
We can kill him afterwards.
Just sort of like, you know, grip the like the sort of the bar a bit, like the wood is starting to crack a bit. He just takes the gold quickly. Right, yeah. What do you want?
Are there any
Particular?
other entrances to the sewers?
Yeah, several. There's a one. Do you mind backing up a bit if that's all right? You know.
I'll slowly, as far as I
Okay.
can.
Okay, good. Right. Yeah, just several points around the city. They're normally if you look for them, they're marked with a circle and an X inside of it. Yeah, there's one behind the tavern. Just go to the alley first on your left. A flagstone lifted. It's quite loose. Lifted up, and you'll be straight into the sewer.
Thank you.
The gold.
I'll remove my hand.
He just quickly takes it. Pleasure doing business with you.
Fuck.
Right, that's
I
5 less
suppose
gold.
that money doesn't also give a drink.
You see, he just looks to you, looks to Gruz. Carefully, his eyes on both of you all the time, just pours you like a drink into some ratty mug. And slowly puts it onto the bar.
I will drink it after sniffing it.
You sniff it. There's a bit of mold at the bottom of this thing.
I'll just
The
put it
beer
down.
is cheap.
I'll just put it down and say, I've drunk better with the dwarves.
Well,
I'm going to stare
such
at
high
it.
airs.
I'm going to stare at it. I'm gonna ask Gross for advice. Do you think
No.
it's a good idea? Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to drink it.
Okay.
Guess we'll have to step back outside the island in the alley.
Yep.
Yeah, you step outside. Everything is as he said.
I will lift the flagstone so we can enter the sewers.
Yeah, it clatters away as you just lift it up. It's like it's a bit of a squeeze to get in, but you're pretty sure you could all get in without too much difficulty.
Okay.
Very well.
Gonna enter in.
Yes.
Could I go first?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I'll go second.
Okay.
First of all, before we go in, what direction from our location where the murders...
Northeast.
Northeast. Varric will try to remember which way northeast going down.
Okay. As you sort of enter the sewer, ready for your find your next coffee, we're gonna end it here.
Indeed. I'm going to say thank you all for watching. We'll be back next week with more Final Eclipse. Kazoo, again, thanks for the story. And bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.